Hey everyone, it's Kayvon with Askari Art. The hardest part of creating is really starting. Today, I'm not going to paint a masterpiece. I'm going to get back into it. I'm just getting back. It's been a minute since I've been in the studio, and honestly, I wasn't really feeling super inspired today. And this is where I'm going to talk about the discipline part. I've learned that inspiration usually shows up after you start, not before. So you could watch all the videos that I've ever posted and you may feel inspired, but you'll never start until you actually apply. I've read a lot of comments about painters and viewers, and they've been anxiety stricken. They just don't know where to start. So this is what I'm going to do to help me get over that and also help you. So I'm not going to try to paint a large painting right now without having practiced for the last week. Even though I've got years of experience, I'll be overwhelmed if I try to start with a large painting because I haven't touched the brush in a while. So today, I'm going to keep it very simple. Just swatches. I have some colors that I don't know what they look like, and I want to try to make some swatches. There's no pressure, just me and the brush and the ink. So let's get started. All right. So I'm going to use some Yupo medium paper, and I've cut it into little swatches like so. I've got 6 of these because we're playing with 6 colors. I've got my little Giotto. I've got some 99% alcohol. It's poured into this container. I've got my blow dryer and a simple brush just in case I want to see how the painting moves. And hopefully you can see that. The first color we're going to play with is crimson. I don't know if you can see that. All right, let's try it. It's by Tim Holtz. So what I like to do first is I'm going to start with some alcohol. And we're going to drop a couple drops. And we're just going to move. There's no pressure here. This is just swatches because I want to figure out how this color reacts, what it looks like when I start moving it, and I'm going to add a little bit more alcohol in a minute once this settles. And don't be afraid to just grab the paper and move it around. You know, just move it and see. Now, if I'm using this with a big canvas, that may not be as easy. But right now, this is what I'm just trying to do. And if I feel like a shape is coming out of it, then great. If not, then it's okay too. Because the idea is we're just practicing. So look, just move it around. Give yourself that soft effect so you can see what the color does. And now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a cup and pour some alcohol in it and wet my brush with the alcohol. Just get it really nice and wet, make sure the brush is clean. And we're going to play here and see what happens when I use the brush with this color. Sometimes other colors come out. Now, you'll notice that there's some ridges here, but that's okay. Let's see, because that's just moisture in the air. We may have rain or whatever, so it's just humidity and moisture. So we're just testing it. And I'm okay with the moisture because, again, this is just practice. see what the pigment is like. All right, so we're gonna let that dry. I'm gonna set it over here. Okay, let's try our next color. The next color is Botanical. I don't know if you can see this. Let's see. There we go, Botanical by Tim Holtz. Let's go back to our focal here. Doing this reminded me why I started. You don't need to know what you're making to make something valuable. And what I mean by valuable, I'm not talking about masterpiece. Valuable to you because you're learning. Sometimes swatching is the work. Drop a few drops of alcohol. And wow, that's a rich green. Almost reminds me of bottle. Now we can't use this brush anymore. So we're gonna have to try a different brush. So I'm just gonna grab a different brush and let's move this around. See, now I'm just using the ink itself and the alcohol itself just to kind of move it around and see what shape comes out of it. Let's drop a few more drops in. It's a very rich green color. It looks very botanical, honestly. But we need more of this so that I can see a bigger swatch of it. And since the alcohol is still wet, it allows me to move it. Now we're gonna move this here, just kind of bring it around. And for me, I wanna see the lighter gradient side of this as well. So what I'll do is I'll move it around just to kind of give me the darks and the light colors. So this color seems like it lightens up, but I'm starting to see some yellow in it. You can start seeing it here. Now this could be because it's wet. I'm not sure. As you keep moving it around and lifting it and moving it, it starts breaking up the dye and you start seeing the other colors inside. And that's what I want, because if I am painting, and that's what the purpose of these swatches are, because when I'm painting, I want to make sure that I understand when it is what other colors are in it, so that I'm not really messing up a painting that maybe the client or myself, I don't want, orange or yellow in it. So okay, so we're gonna set this aside, let that dry. Let's try another color. So I'm gonna put the lid of these away. Let's put these away right here. Ooh, let's play with, okay, so this one's called Peach Bellini. I don't know if you can see that. Again, another Tim Holtz color. We're going to put some alcohol down. You can even move this alcohol around. It's kind of hard to see. And then let's drop a couple drops in there. This is a very light dye or light ink, so it's not going to really show up as well. So this just tells you that you need more of it if you want it to be very vibrant. Okay. So as I can see here, this is such a light color Um, there isn't much to it. So we're gonna let that dry. And on this, we're gonna spread out this moisture there. Okay. So you can see the ring of yellow around on that one. All right, so we're gonna leave this and let this dry, because that didn't take much. It's just a very, it's so light, I'm not sure if the camera even picks it up. Let's see. Letting it dry a little bit more, so it allows me to kind of move it around. And, I mean, this may not feel like I'm painting, and it isn't painting, really. It's just swatch making, and something may come out of it and I may like, and I'll try to replicate. So these three are done. Let's play with, this one is called Cool Perry. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. We're gonna have to use a clean brush again. This is probably going to be a light dye as well, I'm guessing. Yep, it's a very light dye. It's not much color to it. And we're gonna use another clean brush, just in case. Let's just move it around. So this is leaving, usually the blues and the purples, and the blues and the purples typically leave a stain on Yupo paper. Now, Nara may not have a stain, plastic poster board doesn't have a stain, but this is just an indicator for me that if I'm working on canvas, that there may be a stain. It may stain the canvas, and that's okay. We just need to be aware of it. And we'll just push this around. You can see the blue stain right there. I don't know if you can see that. You see the blue stain? And that's okay. So we're just going to push this around. Oh, I like that. It's really nice. I'm trying to bring the color kind of to the center so that when it dries, I can see a concentration of it without wasting too much ink to try to get that concentration. And I also try to fade an area of it so that I can see what the gradient aspect of it looks like. So on this one, you can see that it kind of just spread out, and that's okay. It's still still drying. We'll have to do that same thing with this. Now, if I want to get a quicker aspect of it, I'll turn on the blow dryer. I didn't want that. That's on a low setting. Goodness gracious, that blew everything away. It's okay. All right. Let's move on. I'm gonna let this dry. So swatching helps me reconnect with the medium. The movement of the brush, the way the ink spreads, it's like stretching before a workout. So it helps me a lot. Flow state doesn't start with clarity. It's chaos. It starts the motion. It starts with motion. You don't wait to feel ready. You get in the habit of just starting, and eventually the noise will fade. You'll get into that flow state. You'll be focused on how the color is moving, your brush, the air, and all sorts of things, composition. So there's no pressure with swatches. It's controlled chaos. That's where my best ideas start. And hopefully this helps you with starting your ideas when you're painting. To kind of tweak the color a little bit, maybe a good option. So let's put that over here. So the next one is Dandelion. So I'm not sure if this one's going to be bright, but let's see. This one looks like it could be. Yeah, this one's got some serious pigment for yellow. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. It's too much alcohol. We're gonna do the last one, then I'll come back to this one and see if there's anything I can do to bring these once it gets closer to drying. Because these are swatches, like I said, and I'm just trying to see. Okay. There we go. It's okay, you're not really going crazy with it, you're just moving it around, kind of just getting the idea, flow of it, of how this ink moves. All of them move separate differently. You can see the higher pigment ones, there's more to move there because the color is much more vibrant versus these where you can just kind of leave them and let them just set. This one seems like one of the vibrant ones or in between. It's a very bright yellow. It looks almost green on the camera, but I'm gonna let it kind of die down a little bit, dry, and then let's do the last color, which is called Red Pepper. So this is called Red Pepper. There you go. Let's drop a few. Wow, this one's very bright. So for this one, what I'm going to try to do, I like this shape, so I'm just going to try to keep it, because you remember what I said about flow state? I'm going to try to keep it and see if I can make some sort of flower out of it. See what happens. See, like, so earlier, I wasn't really feeling like anything. I just wanted to make my colors, but as soon as I saw this color, I was like, wow, maybe I can make something out of this. So I'm still making my swatch, but I want to see if I can do something else with it. So we're going to move it and then bring it back. It's just such a pretty color. And it may not be a flower. Who knows? I mean, who cares at this point? I'm just making swatches and I'm just trying to see what these colors are, but if something happens, then wonderful, because again, we're just learning. Let's do that. Okay, let's look at this again. This one's kind of not settling where I want it to settle, so we're gonna put it on hot. See if I can move it from back here. Trying to lift. All right, I'm just trying to get it to dry faster. so I can see something happening here. You know, I almost want it to settle up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my brush under it, like so, and just let it settle to go up. Look, it's leaving where the brush was. It's leaving where that placeholder is. So that's kind of cool. Oops, we don't want that. Look at that. It's leaving the place of where the brush was. That's kind of cool. Okay, so we're going to move it back. Just kind of bring it up, and we'll just do this. Alright, so on this one, I'm not done with this yet. Just going to move it back and forth, back and forth. Okay. Never used a fan brush before. I've always wanted to try it, so we're going to do that. I don't know what I can do with this. Let's see. That's really neat. I think I need more. This is a really neat brush. It gives me a lot of cool texture. Let's add a little bit of ink over here. Still very wet. Look, I'm just playing. I don't know what I'm making, if anything, but I'm just playing. Now to kind of I'm not a flower kind of painter, so experimenting with this and figuring out what it can and can't do, or what I can and can't do right now, it's a good test. I know I've done a video of me making a flower, rose, or whatever, but I don't really want that pressure right now. I'm just moving this to see what kind of colors come out of it, and using this brush to kind of see what can be made with it. Which is kind of, it's really cool. This is drying up, so it's helping me. I'm able to move it a little bit more. Get the brush out of the way. There's other things that you can use. It doesn't have to be a brush. For example, let's see. I can take my glove and wrinkle it up, foil, and just, see? Try to do some texture with it. See, just the glove. Like, you can drag it, you can leave it like that, and do some really neat textures. So like if I don't like this, and if I want some cool, neat textures, you can just move it, simplify it. See that? While it's drying. If it's too wet, you may not be able to do that. Very like, it's really weird looking. Look at that. I'll do one right there and let that dry. So if you're stuck, don't try to make something amazing. Just get your hands moving. The art will follow. And that's discipline and flow state. So this one is crimson. You can see it's really nice. Beautiful red, magenta. More on the red side, I think. But you've got very light hints of purple, magenta coming out, bright magenta. All right, so that was crimson. This one was called Cool Perry. And this has hues of blue. You can see that in there, but it has very light hues as well. So light, a little bit of magenta there, as you can see. The purple's there, but there's hints of blue and magenta as well, right? So the next one here, I believe, was Dandelion. So this is a very interesting color. It's yellow, very bright yellow, but it looks almost green on camera. I don't know if you can see that. It's yellow. It's yellow. I don't see anything different about it. I do see a little bit of a lighter. It's got a hue of green, maybe, but it's purely just yellow. So I would recommend mixing that with something else. So this one was called Red Pepper, and this was the texture that we tried to do. It does have a little yellow in it, but more on the red side. I don't know if you could see that. There you go. And this is one of our first colors, Botanical. And you can see very, very interesting hints of almost yellow-brown, tan colors coming out, almost like the edge of a leaf dying. That's what it looks like. But it's a very dark green here, almost reminds me of Bottle, but beautiful color, Bottle by Tim Holtz. Now I did get a few hints of the other red spray on there, but
I'm not worried because this is where I'm focusing. And I do like this kind of gradient action happening. I don't know if you could see that. Beautiful color. Like it a lot. And then this one was the peach, I believe it was called Peach Bellini. Now, there isn't much interest here in this color. I think the pigment's too low for what I do, but it could be an add to some of the other colors that we mess with. So you can see kind of here and here. So I mean, I think I can mix this with other blues or orange, or to kind of give myself a lighter gradient that's moving up. But interesting color, no doubt.
Now, let me know in the comments below, how do you get into your flow state when you're stuck? If you're into the process behind creativity, mindset, and building a discipline in art and practice, subscribe, because that's exactly what this channel is about.